Small Business Minister Michael McCormack explains last night's census fail, saying it was not an attack. In an overdue press conference this morning after more than 12 hours of confusion, Small Business Minister Michael McCormack said, "This was not an attack, nor was it a hack. It was an attempt to frustrate the collection of data. An attempt to frustrate the collection of data. People should feel rest assured their data is safe." This directly contradicts tweets and a press release issued by the ABS this morning, which stated there were 4 attacks. "We apologize for the inconvenience. The 2016 online census form was subject to 4 denial of service attacks of varying nature severity. The first 3 caused minor disruption, but more than 2 million census forms were successfully submitted and safely stored. After the 4th attack, just after 7 p.m., the ABS took the precaution of closing down the system to ensure the integrity of the data." However, the minister maintained he was not describing it as an attack because the site was not breached. "I am not using the word attack, nor was it hacked," he said. "I feel by saying attacked, it looks as though, and it seems as though information was then gained. There was no successful attack." He said the ABS, in conjunction with IB, closed the system down as a precaution so no information could be accessed. A hack is when somebody gets into a system, and then uses it for malicious purposes. There was no attack. There was no hack, because that sort of information did not get out, he said. Mr. McCormack gave a detailed timeline of each denial of service incident, the first of which occurred at 10 a.m. yesterday when the ABS detected a significant increase in traffic. He went on to reveal that the site was compromised another 3 times before it was shut down at 7 p.m. The ABS made the decision to shut down the online form to protect the system from further incidents. "My office was informed of the census website outage at 8 p.m., Mr. McCormack said. He also stressed that private data was safe. All completed census form data was backed up and transferred into the ABS secure data storage environment, he said. Importantly, no census data was compromised and no data was lost. However, the press conference failed to answer when the site would be back up and running. "We are working to get the online system up as quickly as possible, and I need to be assured about the robustness of our arrangements before I put it back online," ABS chief statistician David Kalish said. In a press conference which followed, Prime Minister Malcolm Turnbull encouraged Australians to get the census form completed. "The census is a very important document," he said. "Your census form is a very important document. It's a very important piece of data collection." Mr. Turnbull said while people had a right to express concerns about the security of their data, he assured Australians the information was safe and it had not been compromised. Treasurer Scott Morrison also reassured those who had filled the form in that their information was secure. He said while the ABS was criticized for being overcautious, they chose to place people's data security and any possible compromise to that as being more important than convenience last night. "We reworking to restore the service. We'll keep you updated." Quite clear it was malicious. Earlier this morning the ABS revealed the census had been hit by foreign hackers in a malicious attack. "It was an attack," Mr. Kalish told ABS Radio this morning. "It was quite clear it was malicious." The ABS is working with the Australian Signals Directorate to determine the source of the attack. However, Mr. Kalish said so far it had been difficult to work out where the hack came from. In the statement and on Twitter this morning, the ABS revealed the 2016 online form suffered 4 distributed denial of service (DDoS) attacks yesterday of varying nature and severity. A DDoS attack aims to crash a site by flooding it with more requests for information that it can handle. The first 3 attacks caused minor disruption, the ABS said. but more than 2 million people still managed to submit their surveys successfully. However, the ABS took the precaution of closing down the system to ensure the integrity of the data just after 7 p.m. Mr. Kalish moved to reassure Australians that steps were being taken to fix the issue and that people's details were safe. A number of digital assaults on the census website began during the day yesterday and were repelled. But the frequency increased as the evening neared, and many Australians trying to reach the census site after PM couldn't connect. It was at this point the ABS began the process of shutting down the site. Mr. Kalish maintained the details of people, including Prime Minister Malcolm Turnbull, who had managed to successfully access the site, were secure. We filled in the ATB census tonight online, easy to do, and so important for planning better gov services investment for the future. I can certainly reassure Australians the data they provided is safe, Mr. Kalish said. The ABS released a statement about 11 p.m. last night advising the website was unavailable and reassured Australians they would not be fined for not completing the survey. ABS would remind Australians that they have plenty of time to complete the census, to well into September, and again note that fines will not be imposed for completing the census after census night, he said. Fines will not be imposed for completing the census after census night. Australians took to social media to express their outrage after they failed to get online last night. Many questioned how safe their data was if the government couldn't even manage the site in the first place. Meanwhile, the Privacy Commissioner said he will investigate the cyber attacks on the census. Timothy Pilgrim said his staff have been in contact with ABS this morning and that his first priority was to ensure no personal information has been compromised as a result of these attacks. Yesterday I noted that the Office of the Australian Information Commissioner has been briefed by the ABS on the privacy protections put in place for the census, he said. My office will continue to work with the ABS to ensure they are taking appropriate steps to protect the personal information collected through the census. ABS census boss Chris Libreri earlier told News.com, the system had undergone rigorous testing and was unlikely to suffer a meltdown. We wouldn't do it unless we were able to safely do it. We have evolved it and we are confident, he said. It also emerged an Australian technology company with expertise in software testing was paid almost $1 to ensure the census servers would not crash under the load. What is a disrupted denial of service attack? The ABS said the crash was a result of 4 distributed denial of service (DDoS) attacks. A DDoS attack aims to make a network resource or computer system unavailable by flooding it with more requests for information that it can handle. It is generally not designed to steal data and is more concerned with disruption. The method was used by Anonymous in 2008 against the Church of Scientology's official website. Security strategist at intrusion prevention systems provider Top Layer Networks Ken Pappas said the Scientology attack was likely achieved with the use of botnets, a number of internet computers set up to forward transmissions to other computers on the internet. Australian government websites have been attacked by Chinese hackers in recent years. However, some Twitter users pointed out that a DDoS attack was not actually a hack. Cybersecurity expert Matthew Hackling also tweeted there was no evidence of a DDoS attack. Nothing unusual DDoS-wise for Australia and yesterday sharp census LPIC. Twitter.com/xrockgz. DDoS is not a hack, is the a fixed price carbon trading system is not a tax of this week. Have fun saying it, experts. No one can hear you. The ATB census claims for hacking/DDoS attempts. Sharp census LPIC. Twitter.com/SciolTaf. By DDoS, you mean asking 24 million people to log into ATB census on one night. Sharp Censify. A DDoS attack is not a hack, will be my most used phrase today. I suspect. Sharp Census. Drive Mark Gregory from Ramit University this morning said more proof was needed over the government's claim that an overseas attack had taken place. A denial of service attack is when they get millions of computers trying to access their systems at the same time, he told ABS Breakfast. You are overwhelming their computing power by doing that. Interestingly enough, the system, as we have learned, was built to handle about 1 million transactions in an hour, 1 million people doing their return in an hour. Now, my understanding is that most Australians have dinner, sit down, try and do the census. If you had 5 or 6 million households trying to do their census at the same time, that's similar to a denial of service attack. We need some proof this was from outside Australia and not just simply Australians trying to do the census. Are my details safe? The ABS has assured the 2 million Australians who filled in the census before the site was shut down that their private data was secure at the ABS. The Bureau made repeated assurances before census night that the site and Australians' data was secure. It said names and addresses would be stored separately to questions and answers, and the site was encrypted. It also said it has employed ethical hackers to crack the site to ensure it was secure. However, Drive Keith Suter, a consultant on strategic planning, told Sunrise this morning that he couldn't be sure that the details of people who had already logged in were really secure. He also said it was possible we may never find out who was behind the attack. At the moment we do not know, he said. It is a denial of service attack and therefore they just keep bombarding their website as opposed to hacking. I think that hacking could happen in the next 4 years. With information going onto the dark web, the hackers could continue to attack the website and continue to deny service. @abnews @abstatspic. Twitter.com/mixcf. Privacy fear. Only yesterday, a number of high-profile Australians revealed they plan to leave their names off the census or boycott it despite a pledge from the ABS that their privacy wouldn't be compromised. Independent Senators Nick Xenophon and Jackie Lambie, and Greens Senators Scott Ludlam and Sarah Hanson-Young, said they would risk $1 a day fine by withholding their names and addresses. About 10 million households are legally required to give the Australian Bureau of Statistics information about their homes, religion and income in the 5-yearly snapshot. Despite assurances people's details were safe, some doubted it would be the case while others were skeptical such a debacle wouldn't happen again. Modified Sharp Census Form. August Q. 14. Have you hacked or would you ever consider hacking the ABS? Why/n Sharp Censify. So, the ABS admits the census website was hacked 4 times, they forgot to add, that they know of, Sharp Censify. I will never do my Sharp Census online now. Sharp hacked Sharp Census. Sharp Census. Our info is safe. I'm appalled at Census at Turnbull Mokal. I knew it. Official excuse is census site was hacked. Seems like a convenient excuse to me. At Census my census answers were also hacked. My name is definitely not Ding Dong McKelpops. I'm not years old. Well, that's the end of online voting then. Sharp Census Shack. With Matt Dunn and